Well, hello there again, everyone, and welcome to another Q&A episode of Film Sack. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Dunaway. Hi, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott. Are we doing mailbags again? Let me see how big this bag is. Ooh.
Want to touch my bag?
What is that?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, you're not allowed. Also, Brian Ibbett is here. Hello, Brian Ibbett.
Leathery.
Hello. I may be back from Vegas, but I'm still drunk.
Yeah, which is why we're doing this. And then finally, Randy Jordan. Hello, Randy.
I may be back from Vegas, but I didn't drink. Oh, wow. This is a strange prediction.
Yeah.
I didn't drink.
Did you not drink?
What's wrong with me?
Challenge accepted.
Wow.
I'll taste your milkshake. Remember that one time? I did that.
Yes, I do.
Anyway.
I remember giving you booze and you did not like it.
No, I didn't like the taste of that. It was like, I don't know, it was like kids' cereal dipped in hell. I didn't like it.
Ugh.
Anyway, we're all here, and we're going to do another Q&A episode because we are all just getting back from Las Vegas, and I'm sure that we're having a wonderful time or had one. And we're here to talk to you about your questions. And this week we're going to start with one that Randy pulled from the Discord. Randy, what do you got over there?
Yeah, so BB Skoggs 1984 on the Discord asked this question that I have now split into 4 questions. But the question he asked was, who is on your Mount Rushmore for film sack actors? And but before we get to film sack actors specifically, I wanted to ask the question. I wanted to change it and say, who's on your Mount Rushmore for actors and who's on your Mount Rushmore for actresses? And we don't have to all go and spend hours.
We could do one each. We could all do one each for the men Rushmore and the women Rushmore. You know what I mean?
I put both sexes on my Mount Rushmore.
Right, but I'm giving you more slots.
You get baby
to fill.
Rushmores. Be careful.
That's right.
I'm giving you more slots to fill.
Well, I didn't think about my more slots. All right. Well, you want the 4 from me, and then I'll fill the slots after everybody else goes. Yeah, you heard me. The 4 that I like. All right, these are people who, if I see that they're in a movie, I don't care what the story is, I don't care what the kind of film it is, whatever, I immediately will say I want to see that because they elevate everything they're in. My 4 are Sam Rockwell, Carrie Coon, Idris Elba, and Merritt Weaver.
It's a pretty good. I like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other question entirely, which is your like personal Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Okay.
If I see one of those people in a movie, I instantly say, "Oh, yeah, it's got to be a good movie. These people don't make shit."
Yeah, I'm
it's not film sack Rushmore is his favorite actor.
Right. Yeah. If you want to, Scott, if you want to stick with film sack movies, actors, feel free. But
I mean, we're
all over the place.
I'll tell you what. All right, I'm going to alter this slightly just to keep it all different. I'm going to say my favorite character actors that should be up there. And it's a little bit weird and strange. I'm going to put Bill Camp up there. If you guys don't know who Bill Camp is, go look him up. You'll immediately know. Dale Dickey, you know her from who is she in Breaking Bad? The meth addict that drops the ATM on her husband's head. That actress. Right. I'd put her up there, and I would put Walton Goggins up there.
Oh yeah.
And then the last, and he's kind of crossing over to
he's transcended
mainstream.
From being
but to get another lady on there, she just bumps Luis Guzman off the edge. But I will put Judy Greer up there. So there's my character actor list, and there's many more I could choose from. But I really like those 4.
I'm going to show my oldness. Am I next?
Do it.
Sure.
Go right ahead.
Sure. So we got 4, right? We're going to mix them up if we want to. Don't have to mix them up if we don't want to.
Do whatever you want.
I'm just going to say that I'm always compelled by any time I see Samuel L. Jackson in is going to be in a film. I'm like, all right, sign me up. Hey, look, I'm old. Some of these people are not going to be a lot of newer actors, but I will say that Timothy Chalamet, he's every time I see him do something, I'm like,
he's great,
impressed.
He's really good.
He's really new to the list,
and he's the real deal. He's not. This isn't some fly-by-night actor kid. Who we're all going to become disillusioned with. I think his career is going to be long, and he will win Oscars. He's that kind of actor. He's great.
Yeah.
Even though I used to hack Xboxes on YouTube, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
He kills it. And I also always find anything. Once again, my age is going to show. Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, it's good.
One of my actresses. Anytime I see her, it doesn't matter if it's the voice, if she's doing something. I just always, and it's probably because I've watched Aliens so many times that she just lives in my brain.
Yeah.
I can't say
that's a really good one, dude. I like that a lot. Great pick.
So I went deep on this topic, and I got a bunch of names here, and I'm just going to run through the thing. So I started with who would I imagine as sort of like the objectively great Mount Rushmore of actresses and the Mount Rushmore of actors, like over the history of film, right? Because I wanted to see, do we have any overlap with film sack, right? So like I made a Mount Rushmore that has Katharine Hepburn, Meryl Streep, Frances McDormand, and Ingrid Bergman on it, right?
Yeah,
okay, so that doesn't really hit film sack that much, right? Okay, so let's have the actors, the big objective actors. It's Daniel Day-Lewis, Jack Nicholson, Al Pacino, and Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington with 9 Oscar nominations, right?
Yeah, you can't.
And
not have
no, that doesn't really overlap with the film sack Mount Rushmore.
No.
Although you could see us hitting on Jack Nicholson and Al Pacino a bit, right?
Maybe, but I think if we're talking the film sack one, how is it not like there's Arnold, there's Stallone, there's
keep going. He's got 2 of my 4.
Van Damme is up there, maybe.
Yeah,
he's not. I did well. So I went and took how many times we've sacked them, and then tried to weight it by quality. And so what I came up with for the film sack Mount Rushmore, and please disagree with any of these, is Arnold Schwarzenegger, we've sacked 21 times. Sylvester Stallone, we've sacked 20 times. Sean Connery, we've sacked 14 times. And Nicolas Cage, we've sacked 13 times.
That's good. That's solid.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage is,
you could almost make Mount Rushmore.
Washington on the Mount Rushmore.
You could almost make Mount Rushmore 4 different Nicolas Cage characters.
Right.
Exactly.
Like Vampire's Kiss Cage, Face Off Cage, just keep going like that. By the way, so but at the gift shop at my Mount Rushmore, just one final note, I want to put Stephen Root in charge of it. That's because he didn't quite make the thing, but I want him running the gift shop. Sorry, Randy.
And the fifth, if we're giving an also ran an honorable mention, I have to name Kurt Russell. We've sacked him 11 times, and I just feel like his propensity to make film sack movies is as high as any of the others.
Yeah. Can I also have Isaiah Whitlock Jr. and Shea Wiggum be in charge of everything? They're like the curators.
Yeah, of course you can.
Shit.
All right.
Shit. Come on.
Surprisingly, Van Damme, Tom Cruise, Liam Neeson, those are all 10s. We've sacked John Travolta 10 times. Keanu Reeves 10 times. It's kind of a interesting thing how there's a 10 crowd for us.
Yep, definitely. All right, let's get to this question from Mike. This was sent via, I think, email. This is another Mike. We got a few mics in these Q&As. But anyway, this is about the recent Wanda Mandela effect. So Mike says, in episode 697, A Fish Called Wanda, you had a Mandela effect moment trying to recall a movie where a character keeps getting hit and loses different senses. Pretty sure that movie is Johnny Dangerously from 1984, starring Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, and Dom DeLuise. Also wasn't... SNL guy
Joe Piscopo.
Yeah. I always remember him being in that.
You shouldn't hang me on a hook.
That's
My
right.
dad hung me on a hook once.
Yeah, he's a weird dude. Anyway, Ray Walston plays a blind newspaper stand owner who gets hit repeatedly, losing and gaining his senses each time he gets hit. I think he goes from blind to deaf to mute. It might be worth a sack, though it is probably not streaming anywhere. I love the show. I thought we did it. I thought we did Johnny Dangerously.
No, we have not, because I've never actually seen this movie.
Okay.
No,
that is 100% exactly what I was thinking of, because I remember it being like, oh, I can see, but I can't hear. And now that I realize it's Ray Walston, I perfectly see him doing it.
Yep, so that was the one you were thinking
exactly
of.
What I was trying to remember, yeah.
Because you were the one I think you were the one that brought it up, right?
I was the one with the Mandela effect of that, yeah. Exactly.
All right, Mike, you got us home on that one. Good job.
Yes, you did. Thanks.
And
I can only figure out what the woman I dreamed about last year.
Could you get in? Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out. In a future Q&A.
I can't wait to sack Johnny Dangerously. It has literally never been streaming. I've been tracking it for 15 years.
Yeah, as long as we've been doing the show, that thing has been hovering. So
that's not Zucker Brothers, but it feels like a Zucker Brothers movie.
Yeah, it's an Amy Heckerling movie.
Heckerling, really? Oh, wow. Okay.
It's very similar vibe, though. You're right. Like that kind of humor,
totally.
Definitely.
That joke a minute.
It could be a ghost. It could be a pterodactyl. It's just like that guy. I love that guy in Airplane.
Yes.
Here's Chris on Brian Dunaway and his horse hate.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
horse hate email text. Right?
Is this a question?
Respect.
He says this: Brian doesn't like horses? ? Then I suggest he looks at Canada's #1 horse propaganda TV show, Heartland. If you love Jessies, then you'll love horses. This is all sarcasm, he says. I thought it'd be good. It's not so much of a question as a way to return to this topic real quick. Since your horse hate was aired here on the show, I have found countless examples of horse malfeasance, and I've shared it with you every time I find it. I think I've come around, because prior to all that, I was like, they're majestic animals. They're really this and that, and they may still be that, but they're kind of dicks. Yeah. They're kind of dicks.
Yeah. Hey, look. This always ends up turning into Brian hates horses. Brian doesn't hate horses. Brian thinks horses are jerks. That's not necessarily the same thing. I respect the jerks. They help build this country. And you were absolutely right, Chris. Screw that Heartland show. Bunch of people riding around on horses, acting like horses are great and nice and everything. No, horses are jerks.
Yeah, screw that. Stupid Canadians.
Speaking of Canadian propaganda, a little bit of rumor the last few days that we might be getting a 13th season of Fruit Stand propaganda, which is Letterkenny. It's supposedly ended forever, but we're hearing some rumors.
Oh,
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I love that show. I also loved Shoresy, and I think Shoresy is underrated. It's very, very good.
It is. It's so good.
I still need to see that. Still need to finish Letterkenny, and then Shoresy, and then Kim's Convenience, and then
all the Canadian, all the Canadian TV shows,
and probably not Heartland. No,
watch Kim's Convenience first. That's your priority.
Yeah, I would watch. Yeah,
we tried the first episode, and it just didn't hook us. But I think somebody said, "Oh yeah, no, it starts getting way better like a few episodes in." So
yeah,
you'll know whether you're hooked when you get to the sequence about sticking your thumb in someone's butt.
Yeah,
that's when.
Great. Okay,
that's when you'll know.
Feels like a spoiler.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're either in or out, right?
You're either in or you're out. Yeah. You're in the bum or you're out of the bum.
It was. I had that same moment with The Good Place. Same exact thing. Yeah. So
nice. That's not The Good Place. Anyway, hey, Fodder 650 on Blue Sky wrote, Have you thought about redoing the first episode, which was Krull, with the eyes of seeing 700 movies now? Yes, it was admittedly a horrid movie, but how bad would it look with what you've seen since then? This is an interesting idea. We've kind of bandied about a little bit. Like, what would it be like? I would be totally down with this. I think
the wounds have mostly healed. I think it's time.
Yeah, and I've forgotten so much.
Should we save it for 1,000? Should we do it for a 1,000 show?
You know what? Maybe. I mean, I'm not. Maybe not 1,000, but maybe like 800. Like another 100 episodes down the road. Maybe that's the way to do it. A couple years.
Super presumptuous that we can all four of us stay alive for 6 more years.
I like how you said all 4 of us, as if. You've got a pretty good idea who's going to croak first. I like that. I like that a lot. Look, I really do think it'd be a cool idea, but I think we need to put it around some big anniversary. Maybe 700 would have been the one, but 800. How about 800?
800?
It's only a couple years, It's
2 years. We could do that.
It's not bad. Yeah. Everyone get your colonoscopies.
Randy,
we'll be here.
Randy, what did the witch say about if we could make it to 800?
She just dissed us? Ah, shit. She sucks. All right. Jonas, on how we're saying it wrong, wrote in.
As usual.
He says, for future reference, the closest way for an American to pronounce Stalinhog correctly-ish would basically to say Stolenhog. Love the show, though, Jonas. So this is a reference to the Electric State, and the art that was based on the Stalinhog or Stolenhog's work. And I think we all kind of had different little slight variations on how we say his name. But also, let's just point it back at the Swedes for having weird-ass names. Okay?
Yeah. Jonas, you're right, and I just used the phrase "stolen hog" last week. So
yeah, well, you stole a hog, so
stolen hog. Yeah,
that's what you do.
I done stole my hog.
You done stole it. Before Tank Girl asks about this is about tropes. What's your favorite movie trope?
Oh, that's such a good question.
But Ibit, let's start with Ibit. What's your favorite?
Favorite movie trope? That's a tough one. All right, it's the one I always like. The one I always enjoy, and it's used so much, is the person talking about somebody else while that person is standing behind them, and they actually say the words, "They're standing behind me right now, aren't they?"
Oh, yeah. And I think that's like the number 2 trope on all of TV tropes.
Is it really?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
Just from how much it's used, or from popularity, or what?
From popularity, is people put a thumbs up on all the different
gotcha.
tropes.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I'd love to. I can't wait. You'll have to tell us what number 1 is after we've all given our.
So is that adjacent to the comedic prop or function of mishearing something and it leads to a total misunderstanding? Is that in the same vein, or is that something
like kind of Jack Tripper type stuff? You mean?
Yeah. Jack Tripper nailed it. Yep.
We always think of the same one. That should.
If you say misunderstanding, Three's Company. Yeah.
Three's Company. That is the crux of comedy right there. Is that the same thing,
That's
Randy?
similar.
2, or is that something different?
It's in there, right? Maybe it's too broad. I don't know. How does that one fit in there? I don't know if it's even in there. But my favorite is probably. Oh gosh. When they zoom in, I don't know how you even call this. I just saw it in some Tarantino stuff. They zoom into your eyes and everything goes dark, but the eyes of the character were focused on. They did this a lot in the 50s.
Okay.
When they were having romantic moments. That thing. Whatever that is. Because I just saw it and it reminded me of that. I don't know what that's called, but that's probably one of my favorites. Or it's one I just recognize every time.
I'll tell you
the good one.
Yeah, that's great. I will tell you the one that I do hate is Trust Me, F that. No.
That's a great trope.
Or it's the what could possibly go wrong? Instant smash cut to what's going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These are close to mine, which is we've got company.
Mm-hmm.
I live for someone to say that in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like oddly,
Well, because it's such it's intended to build you up as the viewer.
Yeah.
Right. Like you maybe aren't on the same anxiety level as the characters right before they get attacked.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got company like takes you there.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? I don't hate it for some reason, but I should. Is A Storm Is Coming. I get excited every time.
Yeah.
It gets me every. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many. I could probably list a million of these, but
the answer should be Chekhov's gun, because it's something that the 4 of us all are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We're the kind of viewers that we're like desperately trying to figure out, now, why did they just show me that baseball bat so much?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you hang on to it. Hopefully you hang on to it a little bit in the back of your mind for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And like when it pays off, when the baseball bat gets pulled down, that's a great trope.
When we finally find out why that little girl hasn't been drinking all of her water throughout all, the whole
So that we have armaments.
Yeah.
That's right. Here's one from Joe. He says he wants to know where all those Oscar poll results went. He says when or where can we view where the winners of the 2025 Oscar polls went?
We didn't realize until after we did it that we were asking people to submit their names, and we weren't asking them to consent to their results being shown publicly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so I had a thing for a little while on the Discord where if somebody came and asked, "Hey, what was my finish?" I would tell them publicly because they had asked publicly. But I just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. Like some of the people were so bad at picking. And
that hurts, Randy.
Tell their
that hurts.
scores. We could just show the order that they were in.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
That's true. I'll
drop that. I'll drop that on the Discord. I'll just drop the final results list. A couple people put their email addresses in the name field, and I'll just make those anonymous or something.
Oh yeah, good idea. Here's a question that is interesting one from Dylan. Here's a question. This is about Film Sack. How do you realistically think Film Sack, or how long do you think realistically Film Sack will continue? It's been part of my life for so long, I cannot imagine it going away, but all things do eventually. If one of the hosts could no longer join, that's a nice way of saying one of us croaks or physically can't do it.
Did
have a stroke, whatever. Do you think you'll end the show or keep it going? It would feel wrong to replace any one of you. Yeah, I mean, we're with you. We don't want to do it we're not doing it with new groups or anything, unless if suddenly, okay, let's say Brian Ibbett came to us and said,
I knew you were going to use me as an example.
Or I can use Dunaway. Right, it doesn't matter who. Let's say it's Dunaway. Dunaway says, hey, I can't, I'm going to the Sahara to find myself. but I would really like it if you would put named person in my place. We would probably honor that and do that. But if somebody left and we're like, oh, we don't have them anymore, I wouldn't want to go look for replacements. I'll put it that way. Right. As far as like how long can the show go? I don't know. I don't think about it. It's just forever.
Yeah. It's there's a clip that I've given Scott that I've passed around a lot of The Cure on a call-in radio show. And somebody calls and says, hi, The Cure. And then says, how long do you think you guys are going to stay together?
And what did he say? He had a funny answer to that, though.
He said something like,
shit.
I think he just said, I think it's not something that we think about, or maybe
it really isn't.
No, exactly. Like
for us too is
right. I mean, I'll do the show until I can't do the show anymore, until there's some reason I can't do the show anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. We're kind of all in denial. I mean, we know that statistics say that, eventually one of us is going to die, but we're all in denial. It's like, nope, not thinking about it, not looking at it.
Say that one of us will die at some point.
Yeah, yes. Statistics say all of us will die. And here's the other thing that the statistics say. All of us will perhaps hit a point in our life where we're like, just going to sleep on the couch now. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do anything else. Like, all those things are possible, but I think the way Ibit said it is the right way to say it. Until something pops up that says this can't happen anymore, I'm just not going to think about it, because
this place is still pretty healthy unless Randy knows something that the witch said that.
Maybe the witch whispered some truth in your ear. I don't know.
I just know I need to exercise more, and
same, big same.
And I think of Film Sack 1 month at a time. That's I constantly am thinking about the next month, and that's it.
Because one season at a time.
Yeah.
Well, it's the way that streaming movies have caused us to kind of operate. Every month first, things change on us, and so that's about the most I ever consider. But long term, you should always bet on a streak to continue. We've managed to do this every week for 16 years, and I think we're going to do it for another many years.
At least 16. At least another 16, I figure.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds crazy when you say it, but
it does. Yeah.
But maybe we will. Maybe we will.
Listen, if Harrison Ford can turn into Red Hulk at 80, we can do Film Sack at 80.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, great way of putting it. Master Wabbit on Blue Sky also has criteria. It's about criteria of movies we watch. What's the general criteria for a film to be sackable? Both has and doesn't haves, if we can. This is kind of hard to define, and we've talked about it a bunch. Like, when is something sackable? Generally speaking, comedies don't work. Sometimes Fish Called Wanda, it's different. It's got a cultural impact beyond its comedy. All that sort of stuff. Like, there are possible exemptions to almost anything that we say we don't normally do or would do. But generally speaking, I think it's just, is there stuff of interest? Do we have things to talk about? Is it streaming? It's, if anything, we're like this equal opportunity offender where we
I think my rule of thumb is I need it to be fill in the blank comedy. I need it to be action comedy or horror comedy or something like that, right? So we've done a lot of really good fill in the blank comedy movies.
Sure.
Last Action Hero is action comedy, and Cabin in the Woods is horror comedy, and that kind of thing. Like,
right.
I think that works great. It's when the only purpose of the movie is to make you laugh. So like, I could see us sacking the other guys. I couldn't see us sacking 40-year-old version.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
That's a good differentiation. Yeah. Also, obscure movies, they have to have some little piece that's kind of interesting about it. So like, just some, Retrograde, great example. We never, if it weren't for, now I'm blanking on the Swedish guy's name, star of Retrograde.
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren, thank you.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Lundgren. If it weren't for Dolph Lundgren, Retrograde would not have been interesting to us and would not have been an interesting show. So it's got to there has to be some sort of connective tendril of interest for obscure movies to be good for film.
Totally agree with that. That's a really great distinction. And so, as you can tell, Dunaway, I want to hear yours, but as you can tell, we don't really have hard and fast rules, but we don't have a sheet that everything has to adhere to. We kind of talk it out.
Yeah,
sometimes, very rarely, we veto stuff sometimes, but there's no like hard and fast rules. Dunaway, what's your take on all that?
Oh, so I was going to add what you guys said, all stuff true, but I also like movies that are earnest in what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So the more earnest they are, the more we can make fun of them when they fail.
Yeah. 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 It's funny because we don't know.
You really balled all into that, boy. You really, because it's kind of like when you see somebody fall, it's like, why are you laughing at it, human? Well, because that human was trying to do something. They were trying to walk, do something, and they failed.
Yeah. And as Homer once said famously, it's funny because I don't know him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. It's funny because I don't know him.
Yeah. So we try to temper that in certain cases, but for the most part, yeah, there's something about earnestness. There's something about a bad sci-fi movie that everybody on all hands on deck tried to make great, but just failed.
Yeah.
Like, I love those. We like cheese. We like cult.
Movies are hard to make, and I think that's one of the things I enjoy the most is, just pointing that out. It's really hard to make movies.
It is. And even when we see something great, like all-time greats like Heat, for example. Heat is an amazing film. We're going to do Tombstone at some point soon to kind of celebrate Val Kilmer a bit. These aren't movies that we're sacking because we're like, oh man, let's get the cheese out. Let's poke some fun at this. I mean, we'll have things to poke at, but it's also just our appreciation of the art and the form and the people and there's lots to say around it and lots of connections and really there are
favorite part. Yeah. My favorite part when it elicits a strong emotion from one of the other sackers. That's
sure.
Usually when I'm like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. If you never heard our Minority Report episode, that's the one.
Yeah. I mean, like, what the?
Yep.
What?
Dunaway in his brain. Yeah.
I feel like this is leading perfectly to what I'm going to suggest should be our last question of this episode, which came from Copenhagen on Discord. Which was Copenhagen was interested in each of our top 5 movies. So it's like we know Scott is one of Scott's top 5 movies, but what about like the group? So the question that I'm forming this into is each of us give us a couple of your top 5 movies, like just like of all time.
You want us to rattle off all 5 because that's probably pretty easy. We don't have to get.
I don't
too long.
If you want, but just give us a couple of your top 5 movies, and Scott, and not Fury Road. So a couple more.
So I have to leave. That one off.
Let's just learn a little more about Scott.
Yeah, no, let's not. Okay, I'll start then, so I can get it out of the way. I will put Avalon on there, the Barry Levinson film Avalon, and I will put. It's a beloved movie for me, and then I would put. I'm trying not to do all the easy ones.
I know it's so tough.
Geez. Yeah. No Country for Old Men. I love that movie.
Good one. Yeah. Good one. How about Ibit? Do you have a couple?
Yeah, stuff that I haven't talked about because it'd be really easy for me to, say Shawshank and Empire Strikes Back because I've talked about those being my favorites. It's a mad world. I can't remember how many mads there are. If I see that film showing, I mean, not like I ever turn on terrestrial TV, but if I did and it was showing, no matter where in the film it was, I'd start watching it. It's easily my top 10, probably in my top 5.
Great movie.
Oh shoot! I don't want to say Endgame either, because again,
we're trying not to do those obvious ones, right? It's hard. I was thinking
Fifth Element. Do I not talk enough about Fifth Element?
That one counts.
It's one of my favorites. Yeah,
that counts. That's one of those that if it's on, I'll stop everything and watch it. I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that. It makes me feel good watching it. I don't know why.
Yeah, love that movie. Dunaway, what's your 2?
Oh God, I'm just so open all the time. I won't shut the hell up about the movies I love, like The Burbs and Ghostbusters and that kind of. But there's stuff maybe you don't know. I watch like man, if there's a Tom Hanks movie or a John Candy movie, like The Great Outdoors or anything, just basically anything with Tom Hanks, I'm gonna watch it. But I do watch constantly. I watch stuff like Prometheus. I just turn it on. I love all the alien movies, and I just can't stop watching them. They inspire me. Close Encounters. Yeah. That's also a movie that I don't talk enough about, but is part of the reason why I have passion for movies.
Sure.
To me, like Spielberg defined what I consider, storytelling.
Until Minority Report.
And so that's why I'm so passionate about it. It shows through. It's like, oh, yes, it's not what he does. So it made me angry.
We're not bringing that up
what
again.
Can I say? What can I say?
Yeah, that's great. Those are good picks. I like that a lot. Randy, did you give us names? I don't know if you did yet.
Since you already mentioned Heat and Tombstone, which are definitely two of my top 8.
I love those movies.
I want to mention The Dark Knight because that's a movie that I saw over and over. I was watched it in IMAX and walked right back in to watch it again, over and over. And that's about I would say Interstellar, but I'm not, because I feel like The Dark Knight is better at all the things that Interstellar did so great. And that's about editing, and it's about what you do with sound and music. Mm-hmm. And it just blows my mind. I can't get over that movie. And so a lesser example of that, but still something that I've seen so many times, is Armageddon. And again, it's about editing. In this case, with Armageddon, it's about editing comic relief and using it correctly. Like so many movies, comic relief is a bomb that gets dropped in certain parts, and that can work. But I feel like Armageddon is just freaking amazing. And the acting, I love all the actors in that movie and everything they do. And so those are two that not only did I watch them many, many times when they're in the theater, but I'm sort of set up to just watch them, like you do with Fifth Element, right? It's just I haven't seen that in a few days. Yeah. I'm just going to put it on. It's great.
Just turn on and go. Yeah. Well, that's great. These are all good movies. I think I agree with everybody's list. I'd watch any of these right now. Mm-hmm. I might even watch Minority Report. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's Q&A. This is the last of these for a bit. I forget what our next movie is.
Well, we don't know yet because we're crossing a monthly boundary. We'll make sure to blast it out soon after you're hearing this.
Yeah, you'll hear it soon. But thanks everybody for your questions. A bunch of these we didn't get to, we will retain and use for future episodes of the show, just regular show Q&A stuff and any other specials that may come up. We'll let you know. But as always, keep the flow coming. That's voicecast.app/filmsack. You can send us voicemails and text right there, or email us filmsack@gmail.com. Our website is filmsack.com, and you can support us at patreon.com/filmsack. That'll do it for us. For me, for Brian, and for Randy.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.